Hello, divine beings and beautiful souls. My name is Kaya, and welcome to my channel. So today I kind of want to be talking about what I have been reflecting on, what I've been learning, what perspectives I've been shedding, just kind of how I've been healing recently over the past few weeks, and really the past few months. And we're gonna do that while we drink some tea. So of course, join me, grab your tea, grab whatever blend you love. First of all, let's just take a second for the mug. I painted it myself. I put little hearts on the handle, and then it's like little cherries. It's literally so cute. That's something that I've grown to learn about myself, is that I absolutely love like homemade things. I love things that have stories. So like I love handmade ceramic stuff. I love just handmade, one of a kind, small mom and pop shop type of jewelry, all of it. I just love it. The tea that I am drinking is called Purple Lotus. I will actually list right here all of what is in this blend. I actually work with a lady who's kind of an herbalist, and she makes all of these tea blends as well as just raw herbs at her shop. And so that's what we're drinking today. There's no sweetener in this, which I might regret. Oh, it's actually not bad. It's a little strong, but it's not the tea. It's strong because I left my little like steeper in here, and I did not put as much water as maybe I should have. The first topic that I really want to get into and kind of sharing a little bit about myself is how I show up for myself. And I think that the overall umbrella lesson that I'm learning right now in this phase of my life is learning to trust myself. I went through many phases where I had to learn to love myself, and I had to learn to be present with myself, and most importantly, love and cherish and know that I am worthy and that I am deserving of kindness. Really, you know, I've come a long way in terms of self-love. I used to be like a severe people pleaser, whatever, all of that. And so that's something that I'll always be working out of, but I'm giving myself grace because I have come a long way, and I'm very proud of who I am now. One of the main things that I've really been focusing on recently, because I've noticed that I went through a period where I was like kind of like by myself, isolated. I didn't have many connections. I had a few connections, but I spent a lot of time by myself and in nature and that kind of thing. And I went out of that phase, and all of that time I spent by myself taught me how to love myself. And then now I'm in a phase where I'm like, okay, that self-love has been reflected back to me from the world. I have friends around me. I have a romantic partnership. I have community and support and love. And I feel like it required me to cultivate that self-love first, then for it to be reflected back to me. And so now that I'm in a phase where I feel like that love is being reflected back to me, I'm now being tested on how much I trust myself to guide myself through life. I'm starting to be reflected perspectives that I hold that are me lacking self-trust. What's brought that to my attention is that I tend to try and seek answers outside of myself. I think that, and I want to share my experience because I feel like if I share what I'm kind of living through, then maybe anybody out there who's watching can also relate to that and be like, dang, well, maybe this is something I can reflect on. Maybe here's how I can grow. We can even like share advice on like how you overcame it and how I, overcame it. So I just want to create kind of a community space with the reflection of healing here on my channel as a little side note. But one of the biggest things is that I started to notice that I was seeking answers outside of myself constantly. The funny thing is, with seeking answers outside of yourself, you tend to go obviously to different either people or mediums or just anything in the physical world that's not yourself and not your own heart and your own connection with spirit. You start to get different answers for different things. It's like, as a random example, this isn't something that I've experienced, but like, say you're like, should I go do this? Should I go get this job? And somebody's like, well, yeah, you should get that job. This is a great job. And then you're like, let me go to this other person. The other person's like, no, don't get this job. That's a terrible job. And then you're like, dang, well, let me look this up online. And then online it's like completely mixed reviews. And I feel like that's the problem with seeking answers outside of yourself and lacking that self-trust, is you're going to get different perspectives because everybody is different and has their own perspective. There's nothing wrong with that. But the only perspective that you should hold at the highest when it comes to making important decisions for yourself is your own self. And the only way to get the right answer is to sit down and breathe and calm down. And the universe knows I struggle to do that, okay? Especially as an overthinker, all right? But that is one way that I started to realize. I was like, I have a certain feeling, But instead of moving with that feeling that I have, I'm going to go and seek answers from all these different sources, and then I'm going to evaluate the decision that I'm going to make. And that can be beneficial in some times, but I think that when it comes to any important decision, if you are always going out to other sources and like, okay, well, tell me what I should do, tell me what the truth is, tell me what I should know, that's where you start to get into kind of like I'm not going to say a dangerous place, but murky waters for sure, because you want to be guided by your highest self, and you at your core knows what's best for you. And so as I'm sharing my experience with that specific way that it's manifesting, this is still something I'm actively learning, and maybe I will forever be learning. Even with self-love, I know I say like in a finite way that like, oh yeah, I've learned to love myself. This was my period where I learned to love myself, and now I'm learning to trust myself. But the period of me learning to love myself will probably be my entire lifetime, if not lifetimes after this. Who knows? But so this self-trust thing is something that I'm going to be working on forever, and nobody is perfect, okay? And that's what leading me into my next topic about having grace with yourself, because it's okay if you don't have the answers that you need right now. You will have them at some point in time. That is one of the biggest like revelations that I've had that has brought me the most sense of security within trusting the decisions I make and trusting my intuition, is that knowing that the answers that I seek will come to me when the time is correct. Of course, it doesn't mean to like let myself go and not show up and not take care of myself. Again, that's why you need that foundation of self-love. You know, show up, love on yourself, pour into yourself, and the answers that you seek will come to you. And that has brought me a lot of peace. I'm like truly a lot of relief from anxiety, because knowing that the answers are going to come when they're intended to come means that no matter what happens, you're going to be okay. And no matter what happens, I'm going to be okay. That is one of the biggest lessons that I'm trying to ground into my experience right now. And that has brought me so much peace, because throughout my life, I feel as if sometimes things have been blindsides and I haven't seen signs, or I wasn't aware of things, and like really bad things have happened, and it's just like, dang, now I gotta roll with this, and now this is happening, and it's just like a lot of uncertainty. But the certainty is that I'm here and I'm with myself, and no matter where I go or what I do or who I interact with, I'm going to prioritize how I feel. I'm going to prioritize my needs, and I'm going to set boundaries when I need to feel safe. And that is one of the biggest ways that I've really been trying to practice self-trust. And it's a beautiful thing. I think that self-trust might be even more, no, they're definitely equally fulfilling. There's no comparing self-love and self-trust, but I think that for me, self-trust is going to bring a lot of groundedness to a lot of issues that I've had for a while that I haven't really known how to handle or focus on. Okay. So please let me know if that's something anybody who's watching experiences as well, because it's a beautiful thing to know that no matter where you go or what happens to you, that you're going to be okay. And it doesn't mean that things won't get hard or difficult. Like you might cry, you might fall down. Hardships will happen, but you will make it through, and you will make it to the other side, and you will always have yourself. I think that in the past, when you don't trust yourself and you experience a lot of hardship, heartbreak, sorrow, it's easy to try and grasp for control. It's easy to turn to fear because there's so much uncertainty. What is there to be certain in? Because I've experienced all this pain. But what there is to be certain is yourself, and that love, again, and those boundaries that you set for yourself. So that is one way I am working on building trust with myself. And also listening to my body is a really big thing too. Like, shocker, yeah, listen to your body, especially as feminines, especially as feminine energy. I feel like it's very important for me to trust what my body is telling me. It's important to stay grounded in this, because if you are not grounded and you're not showing up and taking care of yourself, your mind will send you signs of fear. Like, I'm afraid this is gonna happen. I think this is gonna happen. I feel like this is gonna happen. But what is your body telling you? Does your body feel safe? Are you gonna, like, it's kind of like you have to find a certain level of balance between mind and body, or I guess mind and heart, to know what's good for you and to know what's safe for you. So the self-love practices really come in handy when you're building self-trust as well. It's something that I've learned for me. Because you can have a feeling, you can have a fear and fully think that that fear is valid and real, and you need to control before you get hurt again, and that's how you end up self-sabotaging. And I've done that. I've experienced that in my life, and I'm now years later realizing, wow, it's because I didn't trust myself. It was because I didn't trust my own ability to set a boundary or to speak up if something hurt me. I felt like the only option was to react, control, fix an issue, and in reality I messed the issue up, all because I felt like I had a feeling of fear, but I had nothing to relate that fear to. It's like if I can acknowledge what safety is and I have a fear that shows up in my mind, I'm like, okay, I can understand that this is not a good perspective for me to hold. But if you have fear and no safety, the fear is going to be real, and you're going to act on it, and then you're going to self-destruct and cause problems and all kinds of things. And then when you do that, it causes you to not trust yourself even more, and it's a cycle of not trusting yourself and moving with fear, and not trusting yourself and creating more fear. It's just endless cycle, and I've experienced that. And so now that I'm breaking out of that, I'm so proud of myself, and I'm so happy, and I really want to share how it's being reflected to me right now in my life. You know, I'm learning from it. We're learning from it. We're having grace with ourselves, guys. We're not beating ourselves up. We're not living in the past. We're not being mean to ourselves, okay? And that leads me into my last point, being able to recognize what's fear, like I said, with the mindset, and what is truth and what's love. Having that compass, having that ability to relate something to the feeling of safety is how you navigate knowing whether this person is good for you, whether the situation or job or whatever it may be is healthy and is in alignment with you, is that you can align it with how you are actively in flow. If something shows up in your life and it is not in flow with you, you will know instantly when you've practiced showing up for yourself and grounding every day and caring for yourself and truly loving yourself as if you were your own partner. If you wanted a boyfriend or a girlfriend, how would you want that partner to treat you? Showing up in those ways for yourself is what creates that compass for navigating the world and building trust with yourself. And again, building trust with yourself and with others. If you don't have much trust with yourself, you certainly cannot trust other people. And I've seen that reflected in my own experience, okay? I'm speaking from experience. Unfortunately, I'm speaking from experience. And navigating that trust with yourself, it seems like it would be easier, especially if you look outside of yourself for answers. It seems like it would be easier to build trust with another person and then heal your own trust. But no. You have to heal your trust with yourself, then to heal your trust with another person, or to even trust somebody at all. If you don't trust yourself, you cannot trust somebody else. And that is a big thing that I have realized. And no matter how much somebody may show up for you, no matter how much they may love you and truly be there for you, if you don't fully trust yourself, you don't trust your own ability to guide yourself, you're not going to trust somebody else. And that is a huge epiphany for me. It seems like it would be logical, but apparently not. So that's kind of like what I've been reflecting on recently, what I've been journaling and healing and meditating about and just really sitting with myself about. I think the biggest takeaway from this entire journey of self-trust, which will be a forever-ending journey. I know this is probably going to be like a 15-minute video or something, but this journey is going to take years. It's taken years. It's going to take more years, and that's the beauty of it. I think the biggest takeaway, though, is to have grace with yourself no matter what. Not have to have all of the answers right now. You can be a little lost, but still showing up for yourself, and you will find the answers that you're looking for inside of yourself, not outside of yourself. And I think that is the beauty in self-trust at all, is it gives you the opportunity, at least for me, it gave me the opportunity to be kinder to myself, to be softer, and to really build that bond and know that I can lead myself and know that I'll be okay no matter where I go in life. So yeah, and I get to push myself too now. Push myself to be creative, push myself to be strong, push myself to do whatever I want. All right, thank you so much for watching. If you've made it this far into the video, I am so grateful for you. I'm sending much love and light to whoever you are and wherever you are, and I hope you have a blessed rest of your day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.